is the equation of a convolution sum. Okay, the convolution sum equation is given by y of n is equal to summation k varying from minus infinity to plus infinity x of k h of n minus k. We derived this in our previous videos, right? Okay, we have three signals in this equation. First one is y of n, which is system output. This is our y of n, right? And next is x of k, which is system input, which is this. And next is h of k, which is impulse response. Of system, which is h of. Okay, now this has independent variable n, right, which we use to this kind of independent variable. We usually say x of n, y of n, h of n, like that, right? But whereas these two has independent variable k. Okay, so let us assume that we have independent variable k here. So 0, 1, 2, 3 goes on till k varies to plus infinity, and again here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, dot dot dot. So usually k is varying from minus infinity to plus infinity. Why? Because we have in the equation k varying from minus infinity to infinity. We have x of k, which is, I'll just put it here. I'll represent this with just a rectangular box, which is x of k. Okay, so this doesn't move. This signal x of k doesn't move. It remains constant in the k axis. Fine. So whereas we have h of minus k, here, and this h of minus k sequence is controlled by n. Okay, and this n is actually related to the output sequence y of n. This h of minus k has the liberty to move for k varying from minus infinity to infinity. In the sense, whenever the value of n will change, just assume that this slider physically connected to this h of minus k sequence. Whenever I give values for n, if I give positive values, n to positive value, this moves to the left hand side. In the sense, h of minus k is moving to left hand side. If I give negative values of n, then it will move right side. Okay, so basically for given values of n, this h of minus k has a liberty to slide from minus infinity to plus infinity, k varying from minus infinity to infinity. Each and every time when I give values for n, this slider will move. Fine, I will let you know how it is. And the thing is, I have written h of minus k, right? But what I have here is h of n minus k. The reason I wrote h of minus k is, so h of n minus k, right? This is as per the given equation. Now for n equal to 0, what do we have? H of minus k, right? So this is nothing but what? Mirror image of impulse response h of k. Fine. So now for n is equal to 1, what do I have? H of 1 minus k. So I can write it in a standard form, h of minus k plus 1. So mind you, the independent variable here is actually k. N is just a variable which is taking the integer value. So independent variable is k. Okay, that's why I written it as h of minus k plus 1 as per the standard form. Now what do you mean by this sequence h of minus k plus 1? This involves precedence rule, right? This has both time shift time shifting operation and time scaling operation. Since both operations are involved, I have to follow the precedence rule. What is that precedence rule says? First I need to do the time a scaling operation, and then I need to shift the signal. So what is the scaling operation happening here? It is h of minus k. It is nothing but it's a mirror image. So I have to take the mirror image of h of k, right, and I have to shift it left because I have plus. Shift it left one time, right? Take the mirror image, shift it left one time. Fine. If n is equal to 1. So similarly, for n equal to 2, what do I have? H of, as per this, 2 minus k, and in the standard form it is minus k plus 2, right? And what do you mean by this? Take the mirror image of h of k, which is h of minus k, and shift it left 2 times. Shift it left 2 times, right? So can you see what's happening here? I'm giving values for n. If I put n equal to 0, I have just h of minus k, right? If I put n equal to 1, it is h of minus k shifted left one time. If I put n equal to 2, h of minus k shifted left 2 times. So similarly, if I put n equal to 100, h of minus k shifted left 100, right? If I put n equal to minus 10, what happens? H of minus 10 minus k, h of minus 10 minus k. If I write it in the standard form, h of minus k minus 10. So what do we mean by this? H of minus k is shifted right 10 times. So this is shifted right like 10 times, right? So basically, each and every time when you give the values for n, h of minus k is moving along the k axis, right? And this n is related to the output sequence y of n. Okay, and this has the liberty to move along the k-axis, whereas x of k has no liberty to move along the k-axis. It remains its their position itself. It does not change. Fine. And what do we have? Why do we have this summation sequence? The thing is, no, there are some values of n for which h of minus k gets overlapped with x of k, right? Something like this. If this is k and if this is x of k, and this is k equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 dot dot dot, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 dot dot dot. Now there are some values of n for which h of minus k will start overlapping. If I move it right further, overlap is more. Move it further, overlap is more. Overlap is more. Now overlap is maximum. Again move it further, overlap gets decreases. Okay. So there are some values of n for which these two sequences will overlap. In that case, I need to take the sum of product of these two sequences, okay, x of k and h of k. And that's the reason we have k summation k varying from minus infinity to infinity, where I can take sum of product, and that is actually directly related to the output sequence y of n. Is this fine? Let me just summarize it. Okay, this is the output of a LTI system. This equation is called as convolution sum. Fine. We have two sequence, x of k and h of k sequence. X of k does not move, it remains in the k axis. It does not move, it does not have the liberty to move, whereas h of minus k, it has the liberty to move for k varying from minus infinity to plus infinity depending upon the value of n. Okay, and what is n? N is directly related to the output sequence y of n. Fine. And there are some values of n for which h of minus k and x of k, when you are moving it, these two sequences will overlap. Okay, and when these two sequences overlaps, I need to take its sum of product, and that's the reason we have this k varying from minus infinity to plus infinity. This is minus infinity to infinity because h of minus k's sequence, this is actually a sequence, this might be an infinite length sequence, this might be an infinite length sequence. In that case, k might take the value for from minus infinity to plus infinity. Fine. I hope you got the concept. In the next video, we'll take up a few examples to solve some convolution sum of a infinite length sequences.